before I move on, who is here for all day so far? Awesome. No, thank you guys. I hope whatever I have shared in my opinion and point of view with some facts have helped you guys. I've gotten a chance to talk with some of you guys after classes, and just all you guys have the same face. It's just a light is on and it's still burning. So that's a good thing for me. And I'm going to try to formulate more things for you guys to start processes through. The only platform for now will be Instagram. So once I leave this, I will continue. You guys have given me a new passion and fire to give it a standard platform. That's something that's set. So I will do this on my Instagram for now. So if you guys do follow or don't follow, I will do something weekly or per day that gives little 15-second things to think about, that it's not overwhelming. And then I'll probably leave like a day or two to, like on stories where you can ask a question, and I'll just try to see what the collective is and try to answer as much as possible. But this will be something. This is something I've been planning for 7 years, and I barely started late last year. So I'm good. But first I wanted to open it up to any questions that you guys have on any of the subjects that we've talked about, or anything that you've been thinking of outside of the subject that you want to share that maybe someone else might be struggling with before I go on to the next subject. And today is more of a technical thing for a specific group of people, more so for content building, and also terminologies and things to think about when you film something. So today's more about film. And I might extend it to the next day, plus having Ian and somebody come in, because Ian's new. It's not a new passion, but he's a director. If you watch his videos and his flow of stuff and his concepts, he's into directing and film, so he can better explain things to those who are interested in those kind of things. And I'll explain the different types of content that you can build on with the platforms that we have right now. But for now, I wanted to open it up to the floor. Any questions at all? Empty can. He's here to recycle. Get your 10 cents back. No? Maybe it'll happen later. So should I do the questions last? Yeah? Okay, cool. I'm going to title this subject called the big screen. Right? The big screen. You guys ever heard this term before? Big screen is always anything that's in the media, anything that you look at. Film, now it's Instagram. Big screen is on a small screen. Music videos, television, live stage even though it's filmed, but it has a different purpose. Welcome, bros. Subbed out. Jimmy. I want to give some knowledge on that subject for those who are interested in it. So by a show of hands, who are, or maybe not even know that they're interested in filming their content? I'm always interested in my own content. Content means quick clips on Instagram, or whatever you want to showcase that's required to record, yeah? For those who aren't, it might inspire you to. So hopefully I want to just put that out there, that if you're not confident on filming yourself yet, or even know where to be filmed in someone else's content, like in class videos, it's also something to think about too. It's information that you wouldn't really even try to understand because it's not really shared in that perspective. And again, this whole thing's about perspective. I'll start with Instagram. It's the most easiest, the most commonly used platform to film anything, right? Before it was also Vimeo, and Snapchat still exists. And what was the other one that ended? Vine? It was Vine, right? It goes 5-second clips? 5.639 in a decimal? Like, I don't know. Something like that. Now, Instagram has boosted up to 1-minute videos, right? And you can put clips on it. Now, if it goes too long, it transfers over to IGTV. So as it's adapting, you should also try to focus on these adaptations, that people's attention span in media is very short now because, again, it's always consistent. It's always moving too quick. So we have to think of, this is me personally also, we think in ways to get our message across or our art form across in the most minimal amount of time with the less, yeah, less wasted time, less mistakes, less whatever by implementing what we know in film before into a shorter platform. For Instagram, it's smarter to know how it's being filmed. So you ever see like the director do this? Yeah, Instagram is like a square. Knowing what you're recording to fit for that purpose also, that point of view that I can't do a dance that's this close versus this far away, depth perception. The ratio for that is 2:1, I think, or 1:1. It normally says 1:1, but it's more than that because they clip it, and you don't want to ever clip your movement. When you want this, you want to see this. You don't want to see just your sexy forearm, whatever that is. For YouTube, it is 16:9. That's wide. Normally, that's also in film too. It's shot wide view. So, and I'll get to why I'm saying this first so you can understand what I mean with the next terms. So Instagram is 1:1, for example, square. It's the easiest. YouTube and IG stories. IGTV is also 16:9, but it's 9:16. It's this way. So if you do post something on this, when you edit it, you can flip it. I do it all the time so that it can be viewed sideways instead of looking like I've seen people do this, trying to see it. So you have the power to adjust the angle just by 90 degrees. Next part, frame rates. And this is something I fell into myself that I want to share, that sometimes when we didn't know better, we would spend more money than we need to for a product. And now that technology is at an advanced level that you can just record anything on your phone now. You don't need a big camera or whatnot like that and all these other little things to make it flow depending on your concept. If you want to invest in it, that's fine. But everything now is shot for, let's say, Instagram, 720 pixels or 1080. You guys ever seen these numbers at all? Especially like in YouTube when you have the drop-down menu and it starts looking all weird and then you drop it a bit and it's all clear. It doesn't take much to film for a smaller platform. Therefore, you shouldn't have to waste too much money on that. Save your money for things that can add to your concept, like clothing or scenario or someone's Airbnb house, kitchen, popping video. Yeah, shout out. Film is it's accessible now where the quality is already there. Anything higher is a waste of time and money unless you're into film, like a legit feature, which is shot at 4K definition to 16K. It's too much, but that's meant for, plus they got billions of dollars to waste on it anyways. But 4K now, it's too HD. You don't need it to be that clear when you try to go to someone. And this is information when you want to record something and you hire a filmographer, videographer, that they don't abuse your under knowledge, that you know what you're talking about and be like, hey, I want to shoot this. This is what I want to do. Well, yeah, we can rent this camera. It's 4K. Like, nah, bro, it's for Instagram. Yeah, we can rent it. It costs $2,000 something to rent it. Give me money. It's like, no. Like, just know what's going on with these kind of terms if you want to write them down, or they'll be recorded on the video. Television, though. Television's all about hard cuts. Hard cuts. You guys know hard cuts at all? Who doesn't know hard cuts? Sorry. Okay, I'll explain. Hard cut is when I'm filming him and right away cut is right to the next person. It's just a hard cut. No transition, no smooth, nothing. It gets to the point. So when you're recording your piece or freestyle and you want to jump to the next part or whatever, it's just a hard cut. You don't need any transitions because people get caught up in transitions a lot using whatever Mac or PC programs to do these cool little sparkly things. And it's not necessary anymore. People don't pay attention to it too much. So a hard cut is just fine. One scene to the next for another reason. Hard cuts and close-ups. So close-ups is your face or even like chest level. When you want a reaction to capture someone's facial expression in something, where you want to give a break into your craft or your piece, close-ups work. It's kind of like a reset for the brain. I'm always saying the word reset, that no matter who your audience and no matter who your audience is, that you give them a chance to reset, to stay focused on the subject that you're trying to share, that we're not trying to give them so much. And I always do this in front of someone's face where you can't even see how many fingers I'm holding because there's so much going on. Like I said, it's oversaturation. So we want to give them a break to engage what we're sharing. So whatever we put value into our work, it has a worth, that we become satisfied with our product. That's all we want to do, is be a satisfaction, and that we feel accomplished. Those two things. I did what I wanted to do, no matter what the return is, or I'm satisfied with the end result. Simple as that. When it comes to a live stage, by example, like the showcase was a live stage performance, right? It was filmed, but you guys are there live, and we're looking at everything. You see all mistakes, you see all ugliness, you see all the sweat, you see all the cute people and whatnot, the little boy in my performance. For this, you have to think of it as a whole. No matter what you're building, you have to think in a way. You don't have to think. I'm going to take that back. I'm suggesting that you think, in my opinion, that everyone sees everything. Therefore, you should take attention to every detail of what's going on, even if it's chaos. So for those who saw my performance, I gave this example of that because I knew how the rest of the performers already knew by the lineup what they were kind of going to do. So I thought of this. I'm like, okay, no one's going to have controlled chaos. No one's going to have that kind of musicality or that kind of beat neither. So how can this is me thinking overly, how can I make my piece that resets the show for people to engage into the next series? And then I saw Capella's close it. He closed that ending. He picks it up in his own feel, got the people involved, then it resets. It's a flow. I pay attention to the flow. So I wanted control chaos. Freestyle cypher, it doesn't look like it's any strong formations. It's like a little bit out there, but the characterizing and the flow of everybody is still controlled in a certain place. So your focus is still here. It's not everywhere else. And I call that tunnel vision. You're not paying attention to anything else other than what's center, but there's so much action going on. So anything that happens in your peripherals, the word peripheral, you guys know this one? No? Maybe? Yes? Or a side view? You're not paying attention to whatever's going on out here, that you're focused on this and you're engaging what's going on. And it becomes appealing to your brain. And I had little moments in my performance where it becomes characterizing, that it's not so much dance. So I mixed it with freestyle. They have own personality. Different personality. Then I throw it in with choreography to kind of reset the structure. Then I throw chaos in it again. Then I throw humor with the little kid that he couldn't have his turn. Then bring it back to the structure, then add, it's a little thing to keep a show performance going on for that mindset for a live stage. So for those who are interested in creating content for an artist one day, you never know what you might become. That same concept that I just said for my piece is meant for stage. You have to think about what the audience overall is going to be watching. And that piece or choreography, which I'll talk about right now, the choreography doesn't take away from the focal point, and that's that center, whether it's the artist or a moment in the music that needs to be engaged on. A lot of people right now, even some peers of mine that I know, they will over choreograph pieces because we're dancers. We want to do all these intricate moves, and that's so cool, and it's all fast. But the audience is not going to see a lot of what's going on. They're going to be focused on the artist and some of the choreo. That's why a lot of choreography, let's say from Justin Timberlake, that's done by like Marty and his camp, is very smooth and clean and big, that it's all visual and you can engage in it without even having to look at it. So if you're watching Justin, right, and he's getting off, you can still see the overall flow of movement because you don't have to focus on seeing all these finger tuts in this one section that's not going to be important. Therefore, don't waste time trying to be extra cool when you're not the main focus point. You're not the purpose. You're there to support the focal point, which is the artist in that aspect. For stage performances, it's also the same for television, but then you have another layer, which is hard cuts, and you're gonna have a lot of content cut from this. So fortunately, if you do ever work with an artist that has a live show, a music video, television performance, that your choreography works in each of those categories. So no matter what happens in that, you don't have to start over again or fix anything. It has an overall purpose for the focal point. Did I say that okay? Cool. For those who are interested, I'm sorry, today's a little more technical on one subject, but I'll get back into it to the next days because we'll have, well, should I share the surprise? I might as well. I'll have Jade speak on social media content also and branding yourself kind of thing. And hopefully I'll get Sean Leaves on the 13th, but Bailey and Nat Bat as well. The three that are also kind of in the new generation right now who can speak on this more in their perspective instead of hearing it from me. But I'll have them come on not the day before the last day, which is what? Is that the 12th or is that the 13th? 13th? Maybe the 13th. It's whenever the twins are teaching. It's on the last day? So the day that I teach too? Okay. Stress. So we have purpose of Instagram, how you want to film for this, for the angles. Purpose of film and widescreen stuff, YouTube. And then also like live stage. Television and music video, MV, we'll call it for short, MV, music video, right? Can be twisted in many different ways, but I'll get to that in a second. What I want to give is different perspectives of filming an angle or capturing a moment. So I'll use some terms if you want to write them down. Some of them are like my own made up terms, but whatever. First one is ground up. From the ground up. Simple, right? If you want to write it down, I'll give you 1 second. Done. Ground up, dynamics. Focal point is center, down up. You're the cameraman right now. So if you think as a cameraman, right now we're all camera people, right? We're the videographers. We want to record a piece that is our own. We're looking at ourselves, recording ourselves. The purpose of a downward up mainly is to capture footwork. So if you're into house or whatnot, or Chicago foot style, so you have something you want to do that's low. Good example is, have you watched any of Ian's recent freestyle videos? Those are all ground up videos. You're looking up at him. Therefore, it creates a bigger dynamic. So something that can look small can look long and bigger because of that one dynamic. You're stretching the point of view. You guys ever seen like the old Star Wars movies? No? Well, you can look in Star Wars intro and the text is like, and then when it gets far away, it starts stretching, but it's just our point of view. You can give the illusion of using that down up part to make certain parts of your choreography or film change without having to change your dance. It's just a point of perspective, point of view, POV, yes. So ground up. Next one is two-dimensional, 2D. It's flat, right? And you can shoot this in any other way. 2D flat, no dynamics. What I mean by dynamic is projection. Dynamic would be the depth in front and behind. 2D flat is a straight shot. So if you're shooting something really quick and it doesn't have much going on, you just want to get it done and post it on Instagram or whatnot, straight shot is fine. You don't need any other tricks. Just get your point across, post it, move to the next project. Like, just get it out there. It's something that's not so serious if you want a straight shot. So 2D is fine. Next one is meant for group shots or mega crews. If you have a mega crew, I don't know even what a mega crew consists of. More than 9 people? Something like that? 7 or 9? I don't know. More? But I mean, when they start considering it a mega crew, I think it's more than 9. I think it's 9. 9 to like 300, right? Well, that becomes a flash dance. More than 9. We'll say it's more than 9. For mega crew group sections, it's not best to capture it 2D since a lot of folks do shoot this way. They just shoot in groups and figure everything's going to be seen. The best way is overhead. Not directly overhead, overhead down. That way you can see that triangle you're making and everything's above, kind of thing. It's an overhead. Little things like that. Now we're going to mess with dimensions. The next one would be a wraparound. This is another term that's used. Wraparound is 360. Wraparound is 360 degrees. So you might see this in, I think it was a Kinja's video recently where they were dancing around and the camera kept moving around. The camera is the pull. It's moving and you're moving along with it. So you have to adjust your choreography or your dance to the perspective of the camera. It's no longer the camera following the dance. So it's a wraparound. Or if you want to get to something quick, you can adjust and turn and boom, or you can do a hard cut to another way, and it's just depending on what you want to do. You can also mess with illusions that you're in one place and another just by a hard cut using a wraparound. You can mix these things. The next one's a cool one that I like using every now and then. It's a walkthrough, and you're just splitting in. Then you also have a walkthrough turnaround. So if I'm walking through you guys and I start to turn around, I'm the camera, right? That means the choreography gets split and you'd have to adjust and turn around with it. It just connects again. Does that kind of make sense? A bit? Ish? Or no, let me know. Or I'll give you an example. Give an example. Let me get 6 people. Any 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I'll do it down here. Right? 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Just make 2 triangles. Whoever's a point. Yeah, 2 triangles. Cool. This is the formation. You guys can see this so I get out of the way, right? We got it? Nice. So as I pass by you, adjust to me. No, let's do it again. You don't have to move. Don't move at all. Just adjust. Don't move your position. Yes. That's a walkthrough. You just adjust. You gave another point of view. You gave people the tunnel vision effect, and as they walk through, the camera adjusts. That can be another transition to alleviate doing something the same over and over again by doing hard cuts, or transitions. You can use things like this to shift. Or if I move this way and I capture her face as a close-up, and as she turns, I pull back, then I have another formation without having to move them. This is like a walkthrough that you can use to pull. It changes perspective without having to change the formation. Cool? Thank you.
Thank you.
It becomes abstract. You can play with that so much, and if you watch a lot of our videos, you will see this. I'm pretty sure the terms that I'm giving you, and you start watching other videos again, you'll start seeing the magic that you didn't see before, because now you're able to analyze and see the flow, because now you're not focused so much on the dance. Focus on how it's being filmed and what's happening when. That information can jump you a few levels into your art form. And that also comes back to helping you in your choreography or dance. You start seeing how a teacher moves differently overall than the movement that they're actually doing. That it helps a lot. So once you grow with this, next level, I promise you, it helped me. Like I talked to a lot of people who didn't dance who are in the film business, especially like when I was on ABDC, America's Best Dance Crew, right? Most Wanted. On my break time, I would talk to executives and I would look in the editing room and like, what do these words mean and what does that do? And I took advantage of it because it's also part of our dance or for my craft and my business at the time that I wanted to do. So far we have ground up, right? Then we have 2D, two-dimensional. Then I have overhead downward for the sake of capturing mega type stuff. We'll call it mega. Then we have wraparound, 360 degrees. You can do this in slow or quick, doesn't matter. Then we had walkthrough, right? The craft adjusts to the camera. We're halfway through, don't worry. Trying to get you guys. We'll make it. I'll make it. Next term is punching in, a punch in. You guys ever heard of this? No? Okay. You can write punch in. Punch in. That's not in, but I tried. Punching in is also zooming in quickly. You're going towards your focal point. So if I'm the craft, right? I'm the product, you're punching in. And you can also do this in post-production. If you shoot something wide, there'll be a term called punching in. You just get closer. But for dance, we'll keep it to choreography or even freestyle. When you're dancing, the types of movements you want to punch in on are movements that implode. You guys know the word implode? Yeah? Okay, I'll say it, but I'll explain. It's the opposite of explode. Explode is boom. Implode is boom. You explode inward. Like you see like a black hole cave in on itself, you cave in. So movements that causes this, you can make it look dynamic by punching in because you're bringing in a motion. It meets you there. So a small move can have a bigger effect by just punching in. And that's why a lot of blogger videos, when they talk, you see kind of like jump around and they come in and out. It's an attention thing. So when they say something specific that's of key importance to talk about, they'll punch in like a joke. If you watch I like watching Megan Batoon's videos. She does this kind of thing a lot when she edits. And then when it goes back to a whole subject, it'll punch back out. It's just a trick to mess with the eye. The opposite is punching out. That's explode. Movements that explode. So you might see a part of your routine that starts up close and then it'll zoom out really quick. When they do this, it causes that focus point to grow. It looks bigger than it is. So if I'm trying to make a movement that's really big and I'm like, boom, the camera might pop out really quick. It'll pull away to make it look like it's expansive. It'll look like you're stretching. And then when I do something small again, I can punch in or punch out and punch in and punch out or zoom. Little tricks like that. Punching in is to implode. Movements that suck in. Punching out is to explode. Kaboom. We all know explode. Boom, right? This is the one I said earlier while I was showcasing you guys the walkthrough, is close-ups. Close-ups is another way to bypass dead zones in your film. We'll say it's your film, right? Close-ups work all the time. They use it on TV all the time. You have the dopest move that you want to do, and they just say, nope, close-up to get to the next section. So it's an excuse to get by, and it's more for a glamour moment also. If you have that, the reason to film this. Last one, mid-frame. Middle frame. It is what it is, from the waist up or from the thighs. It's just to capture whatever's in the middle of the frame. That's a simple one. That goes along with 2D, two-dimensional, straightforward. So to run it through again before I move on, ground up for footwork, low angles, waist down type movement. You can make it stretch, make it more dynamic. Then we have 2D, flat, straight shots, right? For mega stuff or things you want to get from the upper perspective. Overhead, right? Then we have wraparound. It's 360. If you want to get different points of views, bless you. Walk through is to invert, just reverse. Or you can mess with that concept as well. It doesn't have to be reverse. We have punching in to zoom in quickly, to implode. Punching out or zoom out quickly to explode. Close up to catch an intricate action from usually it's the chest or the face. Or you can close up to, like I said, if you're doing finger tutting, if you're into that, you can close up to this for that moment, pull out. Hawk from Quest Crew plays with this a lot. Or Pac-Man. Or Moon. You guys know Moon also? Yeah, Asia Camp Moon. Shout out Asia Camp. And then mid-frame. Simple. Now that we got those kind of angles and looks out of the way, to add on top of that is depth perception. DEPTH. That's pulling in, pulling out, wide range, doesn't matter. You're messing with the depth. So if I do a move like this and I pull out at that moment, you can make it look wavy. It's weird with cameras, but that's another thing too. You know how you ever heard the term, the camera adds 10 pounds? That doesn't exist anymore. We're in a 4K generation. So you don't have to worry about all that. It's like, but you know, I'm 20 pounds now. It's like, nah, we see you as you are. I've already explained earlier about peripherals. So I do this a lot in my humor videos when I have the main chunk of the choreography going on, but on the peripherals, I might have little actions that you might miss. So I like to add a replay value to my videos. Does that make sense? Where you have to watch it more than once. Now I'll be doing this in my next 2 videos. That'll, if you guys follow, you'll see what I'm talking about. I have a video that every 8 count, it restarts. I'll give the secret right now. It restarts. It's a Busta Rhymes track. It's called Mobius. Mobius is the infinity symbol, right? Have you ever heard of this before? The infinity symbol is ongoing. So I want to capture you guys in an ongoing loop. But me as Busta, right, the rapper, the lyrics always change, but the musicality is the same. So as I walk forward to the camera, resets. But on my peripherals, there's going to be something else going on. And then it might change the next time it happens. Then it'll change again. For example, maybe 1 8 count, there's a baby, right? Nobody would ever pay attention to this until I tell you. So I'm telling you the secret now before I even put it out there. After the 8 count finishes and it resets again, that baby's now a toddler. But you wouldn't notice unless I said that. But the choreography is distracting you. I'm the distraction of the choreography. The scenario keeps resetting. You're stuck in a loop, but it keeps growing. Resets again, the child's now a little girl. Next 8 count, a teenager. Next 8 count, an adult. Next 8 count, an old lady. Then just for funny kicks, you might see a skeleton on the last one, like a dead person. Time, I'm messing with time in a loop. This kind of character play is what I like to do with film, that you can add anything else into your creativity, your form, on top of choreography. Therefore, I gave a show, I gave it more value than what the reasoning is for it. That it has replay value. And this is how I try to think of all of my videos now, that I don't want to just post something, someone watch it, cool choreography, done, it's gone. My focus is now replay value. Some worth to it where they have to watch it more than once to catch something they didn't see before. Like, whoa, I didn't see that before. Oh, now I get it. Oh, now I have to look over here. And then they start looking at it more and more. This is my craft that I want to share with you guys. Little secret, don't tell nobody. I'm trusting you. I will fly back and bite your ankle if you tell anybody. Let's see. What time are we at? Okay, we'll see. We talked about hard cuts. Segues. You ever heard of the word segue? A bit, yes? S-E-G, way. W-A-Y. This is a smooth transition that connects to the next part. A good example, I'm so high up, so short. When someone is dancing, right? Sorry, I jumped down. Someone's dancing, blah, 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 and they walk to the camera and they put their hand on it. And then when they let go, it's the next scene. It's a segue. They transfer something, using something to transfer the direction to the next scene without having to hard cut. You guys understand that? So I walk up to the camera, blah, 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 put my hand on it, it blacks out. I open it up, it segues to the next scene. There's other things that you can use for this too, especially like when someone grabs a camera and they move it. You guys seen that a lot too, and it shoots to the next part. It's a segue. It's a smooth transition, but it's also crafty too. Becomes visually appealing. It's being overused now, but you can find different ways to do it. Or if someone runs and they jump in the pool and it goes, psh, and then all of a sudden it's a cup of water that splashed out of nowhere, you can use the illusion as well through a segue. Ooh, I'm getting in this. I told you I'm gonna get this done. So we're trying to get this done by 5:15, 5:20. To wait. The next part I want to share is clothing. The appropriate types of clothing to film in, or the ones that you don't want to use. So who has here ever performed on television at all? Yes, maybe so. Have you ever heard them tell you not to wear all white? No, then they're horrible. You never really want to wear all white on film because the camera reflects white. It reflects. Anything that reflects back, you can't see, or it might blur it out. They might look blurry, therefore it's not crisp. So normally they always tell us don't wear all white. They always see, like, for example, all dance shows, if you watch them, they're wearing something that's dark with bright colors or whatnot, but never really all white. So that's something also to pay attention to, where if you're dancing in your video and you're wearing an all white shirt, it's gonna take the focus away from what your body is doing. So try to avoid white all the time. Yes. Which is next. What she just brought up right now is next. Squares, like checkered, or stripes. When you're wearing stripes, that really is a no-no on TV. It looks bad. I can't even explain what the perspective is really, but it's something about black and white next to each other repeatedly, especially in lines, that causes your eye to, I don't know. Just like you ever seen, if you take a group of lines that's black and white, right? And I grab that picture and I twist it, and it starts to tunnel. And if I spin that, it starts to do what? It gives an effect of a tunnel. It starts messing with your mind. Your mind sees it in a different way because it doesn't register that kind of movement. We see it in a different way than it is. That can also affect your film, unless you're trying to do that to make people throw up. Like, it's up to you. If you're that's what you want to do it. You get a lot of dislikes though, for sure. Also being mindful of glasses. Adding glasses also, from a dancer's perspective, who dances with glasses? I do sometimes for a different reason, because I have a problem with my left eye. So like on the showcase, I wore glasses. Cool, I can look cool, but that's not my reason. It's because those lights are burning the hell out of my iris. It's a pain, so I wear glasses. But they also cause reflection, so you might get that light, depending on how your lighting is when you get into lighting, where the angle is where it hits a reflective surface. If you want to wear glasses, be mindful of your lighting as well, and you can ask questions about that too, or I can share afterwards. Or mask, when you cover yourself with something, it also gives you a different persona or confidence, like Jabberwockies, right? I know when Jabberwockies put on their mask, you can't, for some reason, we get the imagination that no one can see us. Therefore, my dance is like, boom, I can do whatever I want. I'm not being judged. As soon as they take their camera off, the mask off, it's like, crap, they see my face. I can't dance no more. I'm like smaller. This is a weird mind perspective, but if it works, it works. You can imagine they really put a mask on too and get down and then whatever. But it's a focal point. If wearing masks will take the perception of your piece. So no matter what you're doing in your choreography, they're mainly focusing on the eyes, mouth type thing. Just like how a baby is born, a baby can't see what a face is, but they can see the two dark spots and a line. They know where to look at a face is by those focal points, but they don't really register what an ear is or what an eyelash is. So when a mother walks by or a baby looks up, it just registers the face. That kind of perspective works also in film. I mean, it is used in film where you don't have to have a strong focal point, but you can use the overall image to pull and engage the viewer as well. I'm trying to think of a good example for this, but I can't. So I'm sorry. Was that all right? And the last thing I want to share is formations. Formations is key to creating even more moments in your choreography. When you do dance, freestyle, or choreography, when you create for it, is to be mindful of formations also, that you can give a new look to something that's already set. So I'll keep it to choreography. When you're creating a piece, know the purpose of it, of course. If you're creating it for film, is to be mindful of all these things, that you're just not just recording a dance. It won't be appreciated enough that way. You can see the difference of when Joe Schmo records a video and posts it on Instagram versus a Steezy video or Brian Puspos video, even though it's still in a room with 3 backlights, you still engage in the choreography based on how it's panning. Like, know how to talk to your videographer as well and how to follow. They should know how to follow. No, they shouldn't know. You should find someone who knows how to follow dance moves, motion. Like, you wouldn't want to hire a videographer that shoots weddings. Well, actually, no, they're really good. I take that back. Someone who shoots weddings know how to capture the environment and flow. It's a cinematic feel. So if you want more of a cinematic feel to your video, someone who does film weddings will know what to do. But they might not be too quick on their feet. So if you have a dance that's really moving around, you want to find, there's a lot of videographers now who are dancers, or they know how to just like move around really quick to get light-footed if they're doing handheld type stuff. And that you walk them through each part that you want to capture, not just, hey, I trust you and just film whatever you have. And then you just kind of accept it because you already spent the money on that. But like for me, when I'm working with a videographer, I have them watch the routine first for the flow, because I move around a lot, or when I drop low, when I get up, I don't want to waste their time. I want them to be able to capture the flow first, and then attention to details of when to punch in, punch out, all those other notes that I gave you guys, when it's going to be flat, when to look overhead. Again, I am pushing you to go back and look at people's videos and how they grow. Especially like, let's say Ian, right? Because Ian's more of a director now. If you look at his old videos, if you go through YouTube, just kind of watch, how one looks per year up until now, how much he has grown from this kind of knowledge, how much it becomes more of a valued product, and the quality, even though the quality is not that much different of what we used before, but the quality of that knowledge adds value to his piece, and it becomes a dance short film. It becomes a movie, something that you engage in. You can feel the emotion more than just a dance routine or a combo. Got you guys thinking? It's all information, but it's fun stuff to learn. It's not meant to be stress. It's to help you push whatever it is that you want to do. If it's something you want to do to brand yourself, or even just to be acknowledged as, this is my art piece, but my choreography's in it. Like, check this out. and some random guy looks at it and is like, oh, it's pretty engaging. You want them to be engaged in what's going on. Keone and Mari videos, especially when they concept stuff, all this information that I'm sharing, plus more, you can see, they'll hard cut one way and all of a sudden their clothes are changed. And then they'll jump a bit, but when they land, they segue on top of a truck. Like it's little things like that that creates movie magic. Little tricks like that. Do you need me to go over anything that I talked about so far? Did I talk at a good pace? Not too fast? I know it's a little shorter today because we got beatbox battle. Remember, underwear. Bring 2 pairs. Cool. I think I want to stop there on that, but I'll open up for questions. But as far as film stuff, I just wanted to be brief on that. So hopefully that helps your perspective in your craft and even how you see things to appreciate more what you're looking at, even the time that you're giving to videos or art videos or whatnot, or even watching a movie when I'm watching. Like I recently watched the Hobbs and Shaw movie, the Fast and Furious. I don't know if that's even out yet over here. Watch it. It's freaking awesome. Yeah, but like my eyes are just being raped with so much goodness. So I'm like, yo, I'm motivated to go create something similar, superhero action stuff. And when they land, like rocks shoot up and they close in on that kind of stuff. It's fun stuff when you start getting into film. It helps your creativity more. You start understanding how you want to choreograph and dance versus just doing it. Someone's mama. Like, stop. No, mom, not right now. I'll be home for dinner. Just wait. Cool. I'll stop there. Any questions so far? You had one right there? Drones? Uh, what do you want me to tell you about them? Yeah, people have used drones for the reasons I explained. If they really want a quick um, punch out, it'll pull it away and it creates that warp effect. Or if you want something really overhead where you're looking down and you can see, you guys know a kaleidoscope? When you look in the lights and you move it and it starts making different shapes, you can mess with a drone with this perspective also by doing formations on the ground and different things like that. I think IME did a video like that was overhead. They were like on a stone platform and they did 15 seconds of overhead things touching each other's socks and whatever. But it looks cool, drones for this also. Another cheat for drones is not using a steady cam. If you can afford a drone and it flows with you, like if you're doing a choreography that walks on the street and you're doing dance that's continuously going, a drone can be used for this. It just follows you and it's smooth. It's another way of using a steady cam, which is stabilizing, not shaking around. So yes, drones especially, a lot of videographers will have a drone or a drone for a GoPro or even in movies, like when a car is driving, right? And then you see a semi truck and it goes under the semi truck, but somehow, how the hell did the camera follow that? It's a drone. Cool. Thanks. I don't know if I was like, yeah, she like went to her own life. Anything else? Doesn't have to be on this matter any, but yes. A close up? Say again? Okay. What I meant on close up, the purpose of a close up for dance is to catch glamour, meaning like looks or someone's smile or whatever like that. That's all facial. Or if you want to write that down, that's okay. You can write close up facial expressions. Or to catch intricate movements. So the example I gave was like finger tutting. It's so small you can't film it from far away. You'd want a close up on the hands. Or if you want to show something that goes ding. Yeah. You got it? Got it good. It is connected, actually. It is connected more so now because for media, they're always looking for the next thing. We talked about that like yesterday. Wait, I need to understand your question more clearly. Can you say that again? So you're saying opposite. Do you think choreography would have more impact on, let's say, film? That film has impact on dance. Yes, and it is already happening, and you can see this in dance movies, or not even that, but again, same example, Ian stuff. He move filmography has impacted his dance craft. Therefore, when he does something that's meant for video, it changes his style versus what he's doing on in class. It impacts for sure, but it gives you range. You were able to get here for something that you want for high quality, or you can keep it here for yourself. It's your choice, but yes, it does impact. See you with my peripherals. All I saw was this, but yes. Yes. Okay, I can give what? So, will you be here on the last one of this? Ah, okay. Because I'm gonna have the people I mentioned earlier here speaking on that subject. You will be on the last class. They're gonna answer that. I'd rather have them share, and I can also give my opinion on. Yes, it impacts a lot because you're worried. Did I kill it? They're worried about being consistent. They have to make the next thing really quick. Therefore, they don't put enough effort or time into it. That's why I said if you're just putting out a video that's meant to be quick, 720 to 1080p is fine. Like just get it out there and just save your real videos and crafts for a higher production value that you can put time into. Like I have countless videos right now that I haven't even touched and finished because I know I have to plan it better. It has to be the right time for it because I don't want to feel that I've wasted the moments or the resources or the effort of that craft not being seen right. So, but yes, I'll share more on that subject with the social media thing. Anything else? Last one or two? You want me to just be quiet for a little bit? No? Yo, I think we're good. Just wanted to keep it brief today, straight to the point. Nothing too emotional or drastic. And I hope this information helps you either build on what it is that you want to film, but or more so help you see what's going on too. That you're not just seeing the blurriness, that you're able to train your mind to focus and pick these things apart. See more with your eyes and your mind. That's all I want to force. So this is what that subject was about. It's information for those who want to know terminology and know more about film and how you're filming stuff, but also to, again, see it. See more than what you're allowing yourself to see, that you're not just being distracted. Because media is just meant for distraction, positive and negative. It's all a distraction. Sweet. I'm hungry as hell. Thirsty, my mouth's dry. But yes, battles tonight. I'll see you guys there. We'll have some fun on stage. Bring your underwear, like I said. And I'll see you guys. Thanks for coming again. And I'll be here outside for like